Before we begin, I want to ask you one simple question. If someone secretly recorded the last 30 days of your life, would every morning look almost identical? The same alarm, the same commute, the same coffee, the same meetings, the same exhaustion. If your answer is yes, stay with me, because over the next 20 minutes, you're going to discover why millions of hardworking people remain trapped in survival mode, and more importantly, how the timeless principles from Think and Grow Rich can help you quietly rebuild a life filled with purpose. This isn't another motivational speech. It's a conversation that may completely change the way you see your future. Every morning begins before you're emotionally ready. The alarm interrupts your sleep. Coffee replaces energy. Traffic replaces silence. Emails replace meaningful conversations. Before you've even had time to think about yourself, your attention already belongs to everyone else. You tell yourself you're being responsible. You tell yourself this is simply adulthood. But somewhere deep inside, another voice quietly asks, is this really the life I was meant to build? Imagine someone named Sarah. She's 34 years old. She has a stable career, a comfortable apartment, and friends who believe she's successful. But every Sunday evening, she feels something she cannot explain. Nothing is technically wrong, yet nothing feels alive anymore. She isn't building dreams anymore. She's simply maintaining responsibilities. Maybe Sarah isn't someone else. Maybe she's you. Maybe she's millions of people quietly surviving instead of living. Society praises people who never stop working. We admire those who answer emails at midnight, skip vacations, and proudly say they're busy. Somewhere along the way, exhaustion became a symbol of ambition. Yet beneath polished careers and smiling social media photos, millions secretly feel trapped. Burnout isn't rare anymore. It's becoming normal. And perhaps that's the real tragedy. The cycle repeats itself every month. Salary arrives, then disappears. Rent, mortgage, insurance, groceries, unexpected bills. Before long, another paycheck is already spoken for. You work incredibly hard just to remain in exactly the same place. Slowly, your dreams become smaller, not because they were impossible, but because survival consumed all the energy required to chase them. According to workplace research, millions of employees report feeling emotionally disconnected from their jobs. Not because they're lazy, not because they lack talent, but because many people spend years working toward goals they never consciously chose. Hard work without direction eventually becomes exhaustion. Napoleon Hill spent more than 20 years studying the world's most successful individuals. Andrew Carnegie challenged him with one simple mission: discover why ordinary people achieve extraordinary success. Hill eventually found a surprising answer. Success rarely begins with opportunity. It begins with clarity. Every extraordinary achievement starts with one clearly defined purpose, powerful enough to organize every decision that follows. Let me pause for a moment. I want you to answer honestly. Have you ever told yourself, once I get through this month, then I'll finally focus on myself? If you've ever said those words, leave a simple yes in the comments. Not for the algorithm, for yourself. because healing often begins the moment we admit we're exhausted. Imagine another ordinary person. His name is Michael. He worked in a warehouse for years. Every evening he had two choices: scroll through social media or spend 30 minutes learning something new. 30 minutes didn't seem like much, but 1 year became 180 hours. 2 years became a valuable skill. 3 years later, that small daily habit completely changed his career. He didn't transform overnight. He transformed consistently, exactly as Hill described decades ago. Here's something remarkable. Your subconscious doesn't respond to occasional bursts of motivation. It responds to repetition. Every time you choose your long-term purpose over short-term distraction, you reinforce a new identity. You begin seeing yourself differently. Eventually, your actions simply become evidence of who you've decided to become. Tonight, I'd like you to try something different. Before going to bed, place your phone in another room. Sit somewhere quiet. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly 5 times. Then ask yourself one question. If money were no longer my biggest fear, what kind of life would I build? Don't rush to answer. Don't judge whatever appears. Simply listen. Your deepest desires rarely shout. They whisper. Next, choose what Napoleon Hill would call your definite purpose. I call it your anchor goal. Not 10 goals. Not 5 side hustles. Just one meaningful objective outside your daily job. Read 1 chapter each night. Build 1 small business. Learn 1 valuable skill. Write 1 page. Exercise 30 minutes. The specific goal matters less than the consistency behind it. Imagine investing only 30 minutes each day into your future. That becomes more than 180 hours every year. While most people wait for life to change, you quietly become a different person. Expertise compounds. Confidence compounds. Opportunities compound. One ordinary decision repeated every day eventually creates an extraordinary life. Tomorrow morning, your alarm clock will probably ring at the same time. Your commute may be identical. Your office may not change. Your responsibilities will still be waiting. But one thing can become completely different. The person walking into that day. Because today, you no longer believe you're trapped. You simply understand that every extraordinary future begins with one ordinary decision repeated consistently. Napoleon Hill called it desire. Today, perhaps you simply call it hope. And maybe hope is exactly where your new life begins.